Right, Michael.
Hello.
Yeah, this isn't Comics Unity, is it?
No, it's not.
No, we're on WrestleUp today. Yeah, no. Bit of a special one today, mostly because, and we're on audio only, mostly because various reasons. So Michael's here today. Now, everyone else who knows that Paul and Zaya are using my co-host to WrestleUp, but they're not here today. This is special because Michael has been a long-term AEW wrestling fan for quite a while now.
Yes, long-term wrestling fan.
Yeah. Now, since Michael's obviously I knew about Michael the wrestling fan, and he's been here today doing Comics Unity work with me, I thought it'd be fun today to just have an extra chat to Michael, wouldn't it? Call it perhaps an interview almost. So tell people about your background as a wrestling fan. What led you into wrestling? What was your first memories of it?
I think it was around SummerSlam with Bulldog and Brett.
Oh, that was the greatest matches ever done. That was.
Oh, that's such a good match. And then I kind of dropped off until like Attitude Era.
I think I did as well because I remember seeing that one. I was a bit on and off it. I did watch Attitude for about 4 years. I remember this. It was what they were on Friday nights, weren't they?
They were. Yeah.
Whatever channels with TNT and
Sky. Yeah.
I remember that because my dad, me, my dad and my brother, we were three was to sit there. We got fed up with one thing, we turned on the other channel, and then kept flicking backwards as well for 2 hours.
I remember, it was weird because Raw was on a Friday over here.
Yeah.
And we'd all be in school when I vividly remember talking in school to my friends about who ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No good days. Because I don't necessarily convince nowadays that.
Of course, that was back when it was on Channel 4 as well.
I don't necessarily sure it's that well dated nowadays. I've seen bits of it, and I think it's quite dated in places.
Well, a lot of it is, yeah, but some of it stands the test of time. Like, Rock and Austin. Oh.
Yeah, tremendous. Plus, you had that was it Survivor Series, 97.
The Deadly Game.
The one where they did it in Canada.
The Screwjob, yeah.
No, not Screwjob, the one before. They did one before, didn't they? Where they did a big pay-per-view in Canada. And
Canadian Stampede.
Canadian Stampede, that was it. I've seen that one there. That was incredible emotions, that was. It's fascinating. Compared to that nowadays, to what you get nowadays in WWE. Obviously, we can't talk about Lockdown. Lockdown did a ball game. But the crowds before that, last 10 years, very, very muted, haven't they, in America?
Well, muted literally.
Yeah.
Sometimes, Kevin Dunn would literally mute the crowd because they didn't want to hear the Roman Reigns reaction.
Yeah, and it's.
Now I see Roman's one. I liked Roman.
Never have.
I liked Roman. I just think they tried much too hard with him. They tried to make him like The Rock. I think.
Not the same sort of guy at all.
No, he's not. I think
reputedly a very nice man.
He really is.
But he's quieter than The Rock. The Rock, Dwayne is a lot more. You see it in the early days. He had that charisma.
He's a lot more sort of an extrovert. And it's the thing. I like Roman. I thought Roman got a lot of flack that really wasn't his fault.
Yeah, I do as well. I completely agree with that one. It's just, I suppose it was unfortunate, like I said, but so when did you first start watching AEW then?
I actually watched All In.
Oh, did you?
Before it started.
Was that the first one? Or
that was the sort of test show, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Weirdly, ROH helped with that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you on that one completely. So. Yeah,
I really liked All In.
No, I can't blame it.
And they had a lot of guys from the Indies, and they had a lot of guys from the Indies and some from New Japan and what have you.
Yeah.
Like Okada, I love Okada. Okada's amazing.
What got me on the All In was, and I've not seen all the show actually. I'm listening to about half of it. What got me was I saw the last fight between Kenny Omega and Jericho, and the crowd. I hadn't heard a wrestling crowd like that in donkey's years in America.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and then when Moxley came out, what did they do? They went ape shit, didn't they?
Yeah, Double or Nothing was amazing.
Yeah.
I like the sort of lead up. There's a What Culture video of like one of the presenters was constantly maintaining that Dean Ambrose leaving was a work. It was a work. and he was there in the building for Double or Nothing when Moxley came out, and they turn the camera to him and he just looks at it and goes, "It's still a work."
Oh no, phenomenal it was. But it's I found with Moxley, and he can think of an AEW champion.
Oh, he looks so.
His body language is
the
different.
freedom.
Yeah, you can see it, can't you? You read the the report you read this morning to me as well on the way down here.
Yeah, he was talking about.
Bambi.
He was talking about the like his time in WWE and being given a 2-page script that he thought was just bullet points of, okay, I'll try and get it across, and then being told no, this is what you're going to do word for word, and this is how you're going to say it.
Well, WWE themselves have been doing this approach for what, 15 years?
That's the thing. Some people get a free pass though. Like obviously,
the more higher up the food chain you are.
Well, yeah.
Undertaker, for example.
Like right. Rock when they were filming Fighting With My Family, they were filming for that, and he was in the middle of the ring and went, "I'm going to phone CM Punk now."
Yeah.
Because the fans were chanting CM Punk, so he went, "I'm going to phone CM Punk now." If anybody else had done that, they'd have been fired. But what you're going to do, not have the biggest movie star on the planet on your show.
Exactly. It's weak management.
He gets a free, like him, Cena, that level of guy gets a free pass to do whatever they want. Really.
Within reason.
Yeah, well, whatever they want, and basically say whatever they want.
Yeah, no, true. That's the full promo I've got.
It's like the promo with Cena and Reigns when Reigns was stumbling a bit, and Cena went, "Go on, it's a promo, kid. If you're gonna be the man, you have to be good at it."
Yeah, that was it. I sort of saw that. I didn't like it. But that's very Cena for yourself. I don't like him anyhow.
Well,
I said, but you do really.
I think he's sort of got. He's better now than he was.
Yeah. No,
now he's a bit more fallible.
Yeah, he seems a much more nicer man nowadays. He seems to have calmed down a lot. I think he was an idiot.
Well, there was the Kickstarter for Shad Gaspard's family.
Yes.
And
I did hear about that.
And there was a $50,000 donation from CTC or something.
Yeah, it was something that was an A-list basically, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, there was a storyline with Crime Time and Cena, and it was Crime Time C Nation. And at the same time, he posted a picture of when the three of them trashed JBL's limo on Instagram, and you can see a CTC right there.
Yeah.
So if we're putting 2 and 2 together, it was John Cena.
Yes, fair enough. What did you think to the rumour going around at the moment of obviously the one guy at Crime Time that's still alive getting a fight in AEW coming up?
JTG, it wouldn't surprise me to see him challenge Cody.
Yeah. Whether it'd be you get a contract out of one-off, you don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah. What do you reckon then to the Cody challenge so far? Then?
I'm liking it. I'm very excited to see Warhorse.
I don't really know Warhorse.
He's very good.
Is he?
He's very
Tell
good.
us about him. Tell us about him.
He's sort of a good version of Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, is he?
Really good.
Is he quite a big bloke then?
Well, I haven't seen all that much of him, but I'm very excited.
I love the one they had on last week.
Oh, Eddie Kingston, yeah, he's amazing.
Kingston. Yeah, I knew the name, hadn't seen him.
He's amazing.
But it shows you, that was quite interesting. This is what pointed out, we'll talk about today with AEW for me, is the confidence to they hadn't used him before. Somebody trusted him to let him come out there and say what he wanted in that promo. That promo was unscripted.
It's not quite an Eddie Kingston promo unless he swears on his mother's eyes.
Yeah, I don't know if he did that.
That's a line he said a few times.
Yeah, did he do that in the promo? Did he? I can't remember now.
He said it in the promo.
Yeah, so he must be
before the match.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, no, it's like what got me was he came out and I thought to myself, this guy believes in his character straight away, and I thought to myself, good God, he's brilliant. He's really had the intensity one of a really good promo.
Well, I think part of it is that he's not.
I
think part of it is that he's not being a character.
Yeah, it felt like there was that truth around him, didn't there?
Well, it's the thing of you say, like back in the Attitude Union, they say your character is you turned up to 11.
Yeah.
That's exactly it with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, I did as well. I didn't necessarily think he was that good a wrestler, but he's a good brawler.
He's
a fighter. There's a fight about him, isn't there? So
he's not a Zack Sabre Jr. type technical wrestler who's going to put you in. It's going to twist you into a pretzel or something.
Or Dean Malenko, master of Howland Holds, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Made me think of the Jericho 1004 holds.
Oh yeah. Of course,
Most of them are bars.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But no, there was something about him.
Yeah.
Now he's not been signed yet that I'm aware of.
I would, as far as I know, he hasn't.
No, whether he wants it, but he's in with MWA still, isn't he?
He possibly, but who knows with them.
But they're talking NWA more topics.
Like Ricky Starks was in with NWA, so.
Well, they're letting people go.
They signed him.
They're letting people go that want to go, aren't they? So.
Who knows?
Yeah, Ricky Starks, I think, was a good signing for himself. He put a good fight up against him. He did. It was a well received, good fight. And I think they made a good move putting him with Taz and Brian Cage.
The thing with Darby Allin was a little rough though.
It was a bit rough.
It gave him a concussion.
Yes, I can believe that.
Which he's out for a few weeks now because of that.
Oh, was he not fighting tonight? Right?
I don't think so.
Obviously, as of recording, we're on a Wednesday. And this is going out to try and get it out as quick as I can. Maybe we'll be after AEW, which is doing tonight. But that was advertised as Darby Allin and John Moxley as Brian Cage and
he may possibly. It depends how bad the concussion is, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. I didn't know that. But again, yeah, I saw it in Dark last week, and that was a heck of a whack he took. And they took a real whack the night after.
Yeah, she did sort of blindside him a little.
Oh, yeah, they were rough.
It looked to me like as he fell, he cracked his head on the rope.
But he's very good, Darby Allin, falling, making himself look dead on the floor like a sack of potatoes.
I love Darby Allin.
Yes, I do. Let's talk about some of them at AEW and Move Topics. Their successes of the younger wrestlers to you. Tell me if you like that. Do you like Jungle Boy?
I do like Jungle Boy. I think Jungle Boy.
He's a future champion.
He is.
Future world champion. Very young, 22 isn't he?
Well, it's MJF.
MJF's 25 isn't he?
I feel like him and MJF, it's the Batman Joker thing of we can do this forever.
Can do, yeah. But then they're both.
Or the Kevin Owens Sami Zayn thing.
Yes, I believe they're quite good friends of ours.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I've heard that before. Do you ever watch that Taste of Shot Brandy?
I do.
Don't always watch them. But
I saw the Moxley one.
Moxley, brilliant.
Darby Allin apparently has really good cooking skills.
Yeah,
I didn't know about.
I couldn't really understand what Darby Allin was saying on that one. I was in trouble. His
I
voice
saw the Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy was fantastic.
Yeah.
But
I love Orange.
That sort of program is good because it gives you the feel for the people as a person who they are then. And that's like, when you think WWE tried that. You had that, Taron Austin came along and did a couple of talky ones, didn't he?
Yeah.
And again, remember the infamous one he did with Moxley?
Yes. That
was painful to watch, that was.
Yeah, that was
pretty painful. But then
I like the one Austin did with AJ.
Oh yeah.
Because they touched on everything, every taboo in WWE apart from Benoit.
Yes, I noticed that. And I think that's what, but Austin having a lot more respect for him. He came across, he didn't have any respect for him.
It was more of a interview thing. I like the shot of Brandy that it's sort of just them hanging out.
Yeah. It works really well, that does. Do you ever watch the long interview one? Does Tony Schiavone and Audrey Edwards does?
Oh, the podcasty one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't always watch that, I don't. I did enjoy the one with Adam Cole's wife, fiance on it.
Yes.
My mind's gone blank now. Britt Baker.
Dr. Britt Baker.
Doctor, yeah.
Did you know she's a dentist?
Yes. But that was...
They've never mentioned it.
No. Well, that showed the other side to her. I thought that showed... I quite liked her. I thought she came across a very nice person. And it showed the difference her then and the character. His character's to the 12, basically, again, so... But, okay, other people, the younger people, apart from what's gone on recently, how do you feel about Sammy Guevara?
I like Sammy. I liked the story that they were telling. I feel like it may have gone down a different route now. They were sort of teasing Sammy turning on Jericho.
Turning the face.
Yes.
Which won't happen now.
No, I don't think so.
I think they're going to turn Jericho eventually. And it wouldn't surprise me if Eddie Kingston comes on his own, in fact, voice piece.
He's definitely a good choice.
It's very possible because he's had dealings with the two. I think the other two.
Yes, he was.
Was he their manager, wasn't he?
No, he was. There was the storyline in TNA of the LAX feud, Civil War ish.
Yeah, I've heard that. So one of the other LAX lads from the original thing, mine's gone blank.
Homicide and Hernandez.
It's a Homicide. Homicide's not.
He's in NWA, I think.
He's meant to be coming back to TNA, apparently. He was linked to going to AEW at one point, but they're going to do.
I think Hernandez is still in TNA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he is. So they might renew him together. We'll see. But you also got other cases of people that have bought him. Like, not all of them have worked because I've not really been that impressed with Private Party, if I'm honest with you.
I think they've been good, but they've sort of cooled off with them now. It's almost like they've lost faith with them.
Yeah, I think they're a bit green to me. Adding Matt Hardy to that has helped
a
bit.
I liked the sort of dynamic of it's like the Hardy Boys when they first started because they had a manager as well, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
Doc Hendricks.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah,
also known as Michael PSA.
It might help him. Good luck, sir. Do you like Best Friends?
I love Best Friends. And adding Orange.
I think Trent's really good. And Trent's exceptional.
And adding Orange to that as well.
Orange casted. I always knew them before that, didn't they? But have you ever seen the fights he did before he went to AEW?
There's a really, really, really good match on, I think it's Evolve, of Orange Cassidy versus the Velveteen Dream.
Yes, I've seen it.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. But what do you think? Do you think they've got more mileage out of Orange Cassidy than they expected?
I think Orange Cassidy would not have worked in WWE.
Could have worked.
It would not have worked. They ruined him.
Yeah. They seem to have given. What I've seen of them at the independent scenes, and this is what AEW is really good at me is they don't mess around with the characters a lot.
It's also the fact that they don't have him do too much.
Yeah, they're protecting him a lot more. I think WWE as a mistake.
I think
they burn you out on people. These guys don't. That's what seems to work a lot better.
The sort of breakout match he had with Pac.
Oh God! Well, that was hard hitting. Did you like? There's a bit in it, wasn't there, where he's messing around that much. You had Pac cracking up, I thought myself, that's great because it showed us how much improvisation was in that fight. He had a structure in mind. He was doing things that Pac wasn't expecting, and Pac just burst out smiling. And he thought, I'm going to kill him in a minute. Well, that's
I love Orange's gimmick of, I'm going to be a lazy wrestler. But he can actually go. He can flat out go.
Yeah, he can. I love him. You know what gets me is he starts on the fight. He has his hands in his pockets all the time, doesn't it? It's just absolutely...
I still don't know how he does the dives through the ropes with his hands in his pockets.
Yeah, and then I love it when he starts tapping people on the ankles like that just to wind them up.
And it's better with the crowd because then you get the crowd reaction like he's just kicked somebody's head off.
Oh, that, yeah. And it's just, I think the crowd from it. The crowd were all into the gimmick and it completely. Yeah,
Orange is a star.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I'm trying to think who else they brought in.
I definitely think Trent is going to be a champion at some point.
Yes, he was. Chuck Taylor actually was in a tag team with Moxley in Japan.
He was. He trained Ricochet as well.
Yeah, I'm not as fully convinced by him, you know. But Trent seems to do a lot of the work.
One of my favourite things with Chuck is when on the Indies he lost the rights to his own name, so he came up with a list of names, and they're all amazing. For instance, possibly one of my favourite is No Gimmicks Needed, Steve the Samurai. And also All Sack Drew Gulak.
Brilliant! I didn't know that one.
And he would go to whatever superstore they were in for his merch. He would go to whatever superstore in whatever town they were in, buy as many plain white t-shirts as possible, and just write on whatever his name was that night and sell them.
Brilliant! I didn't know that one. So.
Yeah, he's really. I like Chuck. He's really good.
He's a nice guy. I think Trent's the better performer out of the two. That's why you notice that when they start the fights, Trent normally starts the fights off.
Trent, and then you get people beating up Chucky, and then you get Trent as the hot tag.
Yeah. That's what he seems to follow that same pattern. Which found Trent's good work. Very, very good work.
It wouldn't surprise me to see Trent as world champion at some point.
No, easy. Wouldn't surprise me. Not a possibility. Right, on other people, and we were talking about off mic before, Dark Order. Hi, Dre! What do you think about Dark Order?
It was a bit sort of meh when it started. I'm really, really enjoying the story they're telling now.
Yes, they seem to have gone to another gears. Do you think Brody Lee's done a good job so far?
I think he has. I think he's done a very good job as the sort of leader and mouthpiece.
Yeah, he's improved. He's got more confident on it. Certainly, when they brought him in originally, I think it took him time to find his feet.
A little bit.
And you think really, sometimes it goes that way. When you've had 10 years at WWE, was it?
Well, yeah.
Been completely misbooked and not booked.
And most of it just stand there and let Bray do the talking.
Yeah, which was a mistake. I'm still not convinced he's a great talker.
He's not.
But it's his mannerisms that carry over it. His mannerisms are better on it.
He's not like a Bray Wyatt or someone that you can just put out there and go. For the promo thing, I will sort of equate him to AJ Styles. In that AJ was never really the best talker.
Never was.
But he's grown into it.
Yeah, I agree with you now. I think I'm happy with what he's done. I think he's been lucky really because the two major people in the Dark Order for the Evil Uno and
Stuart
Grayson, they couldn't get in. They were both Canadian, and they lived very near each other in Canada. They couldn't get into America, so they had to use. You got the run basically, didn't it? That's why you got the run as the leader of them. Without those two been there, and
yeah,
that's why
he's supposed to be the leader as well.
Yeah, but the also one obviously got the gimmick then, didn't he?
Yeah.
Basically to carry on with it, Brody Lee did, and those two weren't there to get in the way. So it kind of forced him to do it.
I'm kind of sad that we're in the empty arena era, mainly because he was supposed to make his debut in his hometown.
Yes. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And that would have been amazing.
Unfortunately, I think really. Imagine the reaction when Matt Hardy came on.
Well, yeah.
The crowd were going absolutely bullshit over that dude. That's why I notice it's what it is. But I said about it, a couple of people want to see how you get finger going. How do you think they're going on that Hangman page?
The story with Hangman is really, really good.
Yeah, that's
like they're teasing him. They're teasing him turning heel, joining FTR.
And who says they're going to be the heels?
But, well, that's a good point.
Yeah, because what seemed to work with him was when they first brought him in, didn't they? And he fought Jericho on them. Was it Jericho's first major contender with the belt?
Yeah. Belt. I think that was too early for him.
He was too early. He wasn't ready. He didn't have a gimmick in place. But what I like about AEW was when they find a gimmick that works, they run with it.
My favourite
WWE doesn't do that.
My favourite thing, one of my favourite things so far with this whole storyline is the match with the Bucks.
Oh, good God, that was rough.
An amazing match.
That was rough.
It was an amazing match, but the storytelling at the end of it, when the three of them, there was the three boys stood there and the Hangman off to the side, and they were all sort of sideways, almost lining up for a super kick. And then you had Hangman outside the ring with Kenny inside, and he just put the belt down, just put his hands on the top rope like that, almost as if lining him up for a buckshot. And then, of course, he just went. He just waved him. It's the teasing that I like. Yeah. It's that subtle storytelling that you don't get from WWE ever.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really enjoyed the Stampede. Was it the Stadium Stampede fight?
Oh, I love that.
That was a good pay-per-view. That really.
It
was. There was solid. I think there's one. I'll have to double check and reviewing it because I did it obviously with the lads. But I remember particularly really enjoying Brody Lee and John Moxley when they went through the ring.
Yeah. And
I thought myself afterwards, it was clearly staged and went straight through that ring. But it must have bloody hurt.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Yeah. I mean, it took them, when they did the Stadium Stampede fight, it took them almost all day, 7 hours to shoot that 45-minute fight.
I loved that match. That match was amazing.
There were so many ridiculous gags in it, there was.
Hangman chasing Sammy on his horse.
Yeah.
Oh. And then can't find him.
Twice, yeah.
And then can't find him, so he's going to go to the bar.
Yeah.
Because of course he would. That's Hangman.
Yeah. And then basically he was out the match. He was out the first half of the match.
And then Proud and Powerful with Matt in the thing, and every time he come up, it was a different Matt Hardy.
Yeah, that was a lad I worked with thought that was ridiculous, and it was a bit bonkers.
It's a bit bonkers, but it's Matt, so you kind of have to go with it.
It did some of the flow of it, and it was funny. But they had lots of really good moments in it. It did. It was completely the top rows engaging.
You can't really have a go at the changing face of Matt Hardy and then like the 100-yard Northern Light suplex as he just kept going all the way down the field.
I know, yeah. How have you felt they've done with the Young Bucks?
I like that they didn't just book themselves to be the champions immediately.
Yeah, they've seemed to have booked it very cleverly. I think obviously you've got 4 VIPs, haven't you?
Yeah.
Ken Omega, Rhodes, and the Bucks. None of the 4 of them have a massive prominent roles in them until recently. I don't know if I'd call Cody's one a prominent role.
I think
it's a mid-card one, but
Cody's role so far isn't the good match. It's the storytelling.
Yeah, I think so as well with Cody so far on it. They seem to have done it. They've definitely done a good job with stuff.
I like the fact that it's not just one guy. Like with WWE, we all see Vince's. We all see Vince's just inability to let things go and let people actually tell a good story.
Yeah.
But with AEW, it seems like it's the 4 guys, and then if they can't come to a decision, Tony Khan will make the decision.
Yeah.
He'll be the deciding vote.
Yeah, it does sometimes make the fight show an inconsistent feel sometimes.
A little bit.
Yeah, with the 4 people's bookings, but I like it the way lots of people's ideas flying around.
Well, they have had some not so good things.
Oh, well, that's nothing. It's a new show.
The Nightmare Collective is my main one that I'm thinking of.
But they got rid of it quick.
They got rid of it quick because Kenny went, right, we're not doing that, it's not working.
Yeah, that's a good thing. If you spot a problem, you get rid of it.
Mainly because it's Cody's wife, so he can't really say anything.
No, well, they did the rights to access thing. They got rid of it.
Well,
I'm not sure if I'm enjoying the storyline that she's in at the moment, mind you.
Well, it's sort of gone at the minute with the whole QT Marshall thing.
Yeah, but what they've done is attacked it in the Nightmare Sisters, haven't they?
Well, yeah, but I liked the story that they were telling of sort of Ali taking QT Marshall away, and sort of teasing a feud with him and Dustin.
Yeah, it could still happen if QT comes back.
Well, yeah, we'll
I've
have
not
to
been
see.
that wild in him anyway, so I didn't think he was that good anyway. He came across as a little mid-carder to me, who was there.
He's lower mid-carder, but because he's friends with Cody.
He's friends with Cody, that's why. That's because we get with Cody. Cody's people criticize him. He does seem to have some of his friends in good roles there. But WWE do that. Triple H does that. Got us all his D-Generation X-mates in training roles. Apart from Billy Gunn, who's obviously not playing with a month now anymore. So, like I said, but yeah, you do it.
He's not Billy Gunn anymore, he's Billy.
Yeah, but he has the Gunn family with him, so also they get around it. And Cody's not Cody Rhodes anymore. He's just the American Nightmare. Cody with Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah, I think Impact were the first to do that. People forget he was in Impact.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they both had Cody and Brandy Rhodes like that, so they got around it.
People forget he was in Impact.
Exactly so. It's fun. How do you feel then? How do you feel that they've gone with Cody and obviously Hangman Page in the books? How do you think they've gone with Kenny Omega? I think I've been a bit disappointed. I know he's much better wrestler than what I've seen so far.
He's not the best bout machine like he was in New Japan.
Sorry, guys and girls, not laptop then. We're okay, right?
It's hard with Kenny because obviously he's coming off some of the most amazing matches anybody's ever seen with Okada. Yeah. But I was a little disappointed at the start.
Yeah, it seems.
It's got better. I'm really liking him now, but
it seems to have taken time, doesn't it, to get him going? Basically.
Yeah, it was. I wonder if it's because they couldn't do the thing he did in Japan of I'm just the best.
Yeah, I think they're going to do that in time. It seems they're on a massive slow build, then, don't they? And you think really?
I'd like that they're sort of teasing the heel turn with Kenny at the moment.
Yeah, I'd rather see him turn heel and keep Hangman Page as
heel.
face.
Kenny Omega's very good.
I believe. And that's the case then. I'd like to see him go with FTR. And keep Hangman Page as the face then.
Well,
I think Hangman Page is a better face.
I think the story they seem to be telling is Kenny in the Bucks versus FTR and Hangman.
Yeah. Whether obviously, like I said, is Hangman and the Bucks will both turn heel. But there's a hint, isn't there, of Cody doing the heel as well.
Well, yeah.
So would all 4 VIPs turn heel?
He was working. He seemed to be working very heel in that match against Sonny Kiss.
Yes, and there was a hint of it against. You bear in mind, obviously, the last 2 or 3 of them really. Wasn't Eddie Kingston? There was a hint of heel this year because he lost his focus against Eddie. He lost his focus against Sonny Kiss.
There's sort of a rumour that they're going with a sort of Horseman direction.
Yeah, you can see it
with Cody.
Because they keep focusing on
Cody, Shawn Spears, and FTR.
Yes, you keep seeing it with Tully.
Keep seeing it in the crowd. Keep seeing Tully in the crowd.
Yeah, it's not going to happen to after the next pay-per-view.
I don't know if it's going to happen this year.
No, it may not. They're going to do a big next. What's next? All Out is the next poll.
I think so.
All Out end of August, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, which I'll be meeting the lads next.
August, September.
Yeah, that'll be meeting the lads next after that one. So, but you find there's going to be a big hint on that help pay-per-view. I don't know if anything direct's going to happen because they've got to first of all deal with the story on Hangman Page and FTR. That's going to come first. Whether the 3 of them then link up and Shawn Spears then comes in with them, that be into the autumn more. There's a lot. What I like about this, WWE don't seem to do this, and I listened to Wade Keller's podcast. If you know that, they seem to rush through these feuds and that they do. And when someone goes in a feud with them, they seem to fight about 7 or 8 times on the trot, week after week.
Well, it was the Kevin Owens Seth Rollins thing of they fought every Monday
for months,
for like 2-3 months.
Yeah, you can't.
And at pay-per-views as well. And
they wonder why the viewing figures are dropping.
Well, you can't do that. You especially with a match that people like FTR Bucks. People have wanted that match for years.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't just immediately give it to them.
No, and what's what I like about AEW? They haven't done that, did they?
No,
they had 4 of them teaming up, didn't they? Young Bucks and FTR versus Blade the Butcher and the Lucha Brothers. Now I thought that was a really good fight, that, and I love the fact the Lucha Brothers got the pin because they've been a bad error that AEW have made so far. You think really, you've got 2 guys there, they both should be containing the main belt anyway. They're that good. It's obvious.
Phoenix is amazing,
and they're both good, both really, really good.
And Pentagon, you have you seen Lucha Underground?
Bits of it.
There's an amazing stuff. He's amazing on that.
Yeah, it's like they seem to book them very badly, but those 2 have been wrestling a lot in NWA, haven't they? Until that went off.
I think they were in MLW for a bit.
Yeah, and they were somewhere else.
Impact.
They've not been able to do AEW all the time. That's why AEW haven't been booking them as strong as they could have done.
It might have been AAA actually.
It was somewhere. They've been somewhere else and they couldn't do it. That's because of contract reasons.
I think Pentagon's good enough to be challenging for the heavyweight title.
Yeah, me too as well. With that. It'd be interesting to see where they go next with Moxley after this Brian Cage one. There's rumours going around of various things like Kenny Omega might be getting the belt shot coming up shortly. But I think I'd rather them do that next year, into the end of the year, leading to next year, then get Omega take the belt off.
I'd kind of rather do that. If they're going to go with heel Omega, I'd rather do that be his first feud as heel.
Yeah, I think so as well. But I think it's heading that way, not as that's. I like about him. There's a massive long-term booking plan for this. How do you feel then? We're not going to do much more here tonight because a couple of questions I want to ask you specifically. The use of the big men, the women booking them. Brian Cage, for example, with Taz.
I think
Taz has been electric on the mic.
Oh, he really has. I think
best I've seen him in years. He's a real fire in his belly.
I think they could do better with the big man.
Yeah, I love Lance Archer. Lance Archer.
It just seemed like they were trying to make Lance Archer a big deal. Oh, sorry, they were trying to make Brody Lee a big deal. And then Lance Archer came in, they were trying to make him a big deal. And now Brian Cage is in, they're trying to make him a big deal.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a real difficult one because I think they could have quite easily have Lance Archer take that belt at Moxley because he's winning a lot of fights still. But if he goes against someone with
I
big
like
belt,
his intro where he just batters some unfortunate person.
it works really well, and it's great. Snake Roberts is on fire, that's he is.
Yeah, Jake's awesome.
He's
Jake
awesome.
has always been amazing.
But he seems to give Snake now a real impetus, and I've not heard him like this for a long time either.
I love his promo when he first turned up.
Oh yeah,
the whole
psychological
the whole
warfare.
we're not going to take, we don't want to take the whole pie, just your share, Cody.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. But you find on it, obviously, like Lance Archer's case, and similar to Brody Lee, really, whenever one of those two next challenge for the belt, after losing, they've got to take the next, they've got to win that next belt, next big belt fight they have. And I think they're keeping pairing them and Brian Cage, whether that's on the board game, that's they keep them away from the belts, and I reckon.
I think Brian Cage has done better in Impact, but he has he's done better in Impact at the moment.
But it's supposed to be only early doors, isn't it?
But it is only early, yeah.
Yeah, and I said they're talking about bringing other people in as well, aren't they? So
yeah.
There's meant to be other signings coming in, and
people we know. It wouldn't surprise me if we see Zack Ryder because he is meant to Cody.
Yes, I've heard that. I don't know a lot about him, but he's very good. He's very good.
He is, but he never really got a chance in WWE.
Yeah, and I think there's meant to be a few other ex-WWE guys coming in as well, isn't there? So
Zack Ryder was the first person to get himself over by using YouTube.
Yeah, Andre's right, always alias of what's it?
Long Island IC.
So what, mate?
The True Long Island Story.
Yes, it was. What's the name of his character now? Wasn't Zack Ryder?
Long Island IC.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And then WWE insisted on him putting his show on their channel, and then they sort of just killed it.
Yeah, very good.
And then they killed him.
Yeah, treated him like shit. Basically.
And then they had him pop up and win the Intercontinental title at Mania, and then took it off in the next night. He never really got a shot.
No, they're very good at not giving people shots like that. You look at that with Eric Young's stable.
Well, yeah, I loved Sanity. Sanity was amazing.
I saw bits of an NXT. Look, they were a good solid team and knew each other well.
And then they put them on SmackDown, and they were never on it.
Yeah, they've gone and bought in what's it? This free another tag treble team, aren't they, in SmackDown? And I've got the name of them now. I don't watch it WWE enough, so. But yeah, they don't seem to know what they're doing. You've got Eric Young one. You obviously had Thingamajig, third. One's just come back. Played Dixie Carter's nephew. I forgot his name.
EC3, yeah.
EC3. And he had a tremendous reputation in TNA. I saw that.
He was amazing in TNA.
Very good.
His stuff with Drake Maverick was amazing.
Rockstar Spud then, basically, yeah. Yeah, but he said, like, you look at what he did in there, and then he contract lapsed. WWE invited him back, didn't they?
He goes to see. He
was crap at WWE.
He was never good in NXT just because he wasn't made for NXT. He was. I don't understand how they didn't do better with him because he was almost made for the main roster.
Yeah, it does ask an awful lot of questions about WWE and the way they do things sometimes. But anyway, we have to be positive, aren't we?
Indeed.
AEW. Now, is there anything you've not enjoyed about AEW so far?
The women's division is lacking.
Yes, I think it's going to pick up. Because have you seen that zombie girl? Is that
Abaddon.
Yeah. She looks a presence. Really enjoyed her in it, I have.
I think because NXT have such a great women's division and Impact as well, it's sort of a thing of it just makes them AEW seem lesser, and they've never really done all that much.
Yeah. What do you think to the champion they've got now at the moment?
I think Hikaru Shida is the best.
Yeah, she carried herself like a champion.
The best. She's the best women's wrestler they've got.
Yes, I think she is as well. That's why. So, and I think she's been really, really good in it. She's carried herself like a champion in it. Definitely, that's one sure. So.
I think they could get much better. They were unfortunate with Britt Baker's injury. I'm
not sure if Britt Baker was that much of a wrestler, but she's a presence.
Indeed.
And she's a really good presence. Like you got that the girl one from outer space, Statlander, is it?
Chris Statlander. Yeah.
I've not been that impressed with her so far. She's been steady more than anything else.
I think she needs more time to get across.
Yeah. Do you reckon Vicky Guerrero coming in was a good move?
I think Nano did need a manager,
Yeah.
and Vicky's great in that role, but I don't know how good a manager she's actually going to be.
Very hard to judge. Very hard to judge. She gives a mouthpiece to it. So
Yeah.
We'll see. Anna Jane is the one that they seem really keen on.
Yeah.
But she's only 22, isn't she? And she liked it. She's been out with either an injury or this QT Marshall infection thing. Because it's unfortunate in her case. They had to feature her twice, once on Dark and once on the main roster. Didn't seem to do much, but then she went off the Dark Order.
I saw someone asking the question about WWE versus NXT versus AEW. What matches would you like to see? And I saw somebody saying Io Shirai versus Hikaru Shida, because Hikaru Shida is the one sort of forcing people to get on her level.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to see someone do that with her, because Io Shirai is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, regardless of gender.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Where do you reckon Tesha Blanchard's going to go?
There's a rumour of WWE.
Yeah, it's gone a bit quiet, that one, hasn't it? So
she's got a lot of baggage, though.
Yes, she has. And you think really with Dad being in AEW, could he control her?
Apparently, well, possibly. Apparently, she was asked to give the title back because she was the heavyweight champion for Impact, and apparently she wanted $150,000 to give the title back.
Yeah.
So they just went, right, we'll make a new one.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's not giving the title back yet.
She seems to be a bit. She seems to have a bit of a high opinion of herself.
Yeah.
I mean, she is really good. You don't get as far as she has without being really good, but it's there's lots of baggage there, and there's lots of. My worry would seem to be her personality, because it seems a bit.
Yeah, it's my fault as well, to be honest with that one. So, yeah.
Maybe WWE would control it, or AEW could, with her dad being there, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so I agree with that. It was a funny one that I said. So, what do you reckon? There's no, I said, the women's roster, you look really, they don't have a lot else really do this.
No, it's a shame because there is amazing women's wrestlers out there. I mean, you look at Impact, how many. Like the Taya Valkyrie and Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you've got the case coming up shortly, haven't you? They've got this 16-women tournament coming up, 8 tag teams. They must be bringing in a good 6 to 8 new wrestlers for that.
We'll have to wait and see. I wonder who they could get, just because.
They might bring some in 1 or 2 as a one-off deal.
Obviously, it would be hard because the NXT women's division is the best women's division on the planet.
Yeah. Impact's got a lot in there.
Impact's got a lot in there
as
well.
The question is who's coming out of contract. And he got said, who's an NWA, for example? Billy Corgan's not.
Well, it depends actually with Impact, because sometimes they have people, like with Cody when he was there, the deal they had with him was he could work anywhere apart from WWE.
Yeah. So it'd be an interesting case of who they can book. It's going to take some booking for this thing. It could work. So.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've got to say, Michael. Thank you today for your honest and candid opinion. Out of 10 so far, how do you think AEW's done generally for you?
I'd say 8.
Yeah, I do.
There's a couple of things that they could do much better, but they've done really well.
I've tend to find out. I might have missed the odd programme, but I've generally enjoyed it every time.
I have.
And I've not, unlike WWE and Raw this week, for case of instance, one to start off with. Or I'll give it 8 as well, but they had 2 promos to start off with. And I thought to myself, that would have gone on for 20 minutes at least. And I hate 20-minute promos. The thing that I find
most refreshing about AEW is that more than once they start the program with a match.
A good match as well.
A good match as well. Instead of somebody stood in the ring for 20 minutes just talking.
Yeah. I don't like 20-minute promos. It's too much.
I tell you who I've missed throughout this whole pandemic thing, and it's Pac. I've missed Pac.
Oh, yes, he's a monster.
I just want him to be a bastard.
Yeah. He's crazy. He's stuck in Newcastle, I think. It's Geordie, isn't he?
Yeah. He still lives up there.
Yeah, I think he would. As soon as it kicked off, what happened, his family took
Well, I think he's got young kids as well. So
yeah, I think they told him to get home to his family and come back when it's over. How I heard.
I just missed him being a bastard to people.
Yeah, you think really Death Triangle angle. To trio had him and the Lucha Brothers.
That would have been
It would have been a good team. That.
Oh, that would have been.
They hadn't even got going. It's like, honestly, they've had to abandon that gimmick now for the moment.
Oh yeah.
And I think they will when they get back in the country. I don't think it'll be this year.
I don't think so either. I will ask you a question before we go. Who do you think is going to get a massive reaction from the fans? I mean, everybody will, but who do you think is going to get a massive reaction to the fans when we're allowed to have shows again?
Moxley.
I think Hangman as well.
Hangman as well, straight away. Jericho gets a really good reaction.
Well, Jericho gets a reaction. I love the reaction on the cruise where they were singing along to his song.
Oh yeah. And it got me once when they did that a few times when Sammy came out and started coming out singing. And he couldn't sing to save his life. No, but they used it really well. But the Cruiserweight thing was the first really good TV show they've done. They've been really good before, but that was an exceptionally good show. It forced them to change the style of what they normally do. It was a different sort of show, that one, and it worked really well.
I think the Pac will definitely get a huge reaction.
Oh yeah, but you find the first show or two, all of them are.
Well, yeah, same with WWE, I suppose.
Yeah.
People just like to be able to watch wrestling.
But you've got to be asking yourself this question. We'll finish on this one in a minute, because I'm looking at the time here. But there's talk going around that obviously baseball's due back shortly, basketball's due back, all the big sports in America. Now, baseball, American football, they're going to be letting crowds into the stadiums for these.
It depends, though.
Yeah, but it's going to be reduced capacity.
Yeah.
And what I said is, will AEW do that?
I think AEW.
But that's indoors.
I think AEW did the great move of having the wrestlers be the crowd.
Yes, and WWE
I have such a soft spot for Chuck D, aka Pineapple Pete.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's great funny, isn't he? You do, but it's like it added the noise. You think when I saw the clips of the first two Raw and SmackDown with no crowd, it was dreadful.
Yeah.
It was painful to watch.
I like MLW, who's a very good promotion. They did a very good thing of explaining why they're not doing shows, which is in storyline they had the heel faction take over the company and shut it down.
Yes, I heard about that. Yeah, that's the clever move. That very clever.
Well, I think they knew they were filming shows to sort of keep them going a little, and they thought, well, we're going to run out of shows before we can come back, so we'll do this.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a great way of explaining it.
It's a clever move. Even like some of the organisation, like I said, you've got like Impact's obviously still pointing out. What Impact do? I don't watch them. They do behind.
I think they do.
Are they doing similar to AEW approach, like wrestlers in the crowd?
No, actually, I don't think so.
There's what is behind closed doors, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they do. They do a bunch of tapings and then leave it, and then do a bunch more.
Yeah, Ring of Honor haven't been doing much. They've been doing highlight programs.
Yeah.
I believe they're on the way back in now. Anyway, so. But as I said, one of their major guides was the booking was in trouble at the moment, isn't it?
Well, yes.
We'll avoid that topic, right? So that might cause a few spanners in the works.
Indeed.
But Michael, thank you for today.
Always.
Everybody, watch around. Comics Unity, we're back in the house. We've got plenty more coming up the next couple of weeks. WrestleUp, all been well when I speak to Paul and Uma. Should be when they have next pay-per-view attending, all begin September. Stay sane, guys.
Bye.
Bye.